Welcome dear learners. Today on behalf of our worthy Director School Education Jammu, I welcome all of you in this session. Myself Chandar Prakash, Master Government High School Dhrubil Education Zone Inderwal District Kishtwar. And today we are going to discuss one of the beautiful play in this from class 9th, that is If I Were You. So this is a very beautiful play. This play is full of wit and humor. This play is full of melodramatic situations. So we will try to understand, we will try to make you understand what is in this play. So before we will start our play, let's discuss some of the objectives which we expect at the end of this session from our learners. So at the end of this session, our learners will be able to enact play, to understand wit and humor, to understand the setting of stage, how to set the stage for a play, and also our learners will be able to understand some new words, meaning of some new words, some new phrases, and also our students, our learners will be able to understand at the end of this session how to create melodramatic situations in dramas, in plays. So, this play is about one playwright named Gerard. He is trying to escape from that one criminal or intruder who wants to kill him. So whether he is able to escape from this aggression, this attack from the intruder or not. This is, and the purpose of the intruder to kill Gerard is only to take his identity. That is why this play had been named as If I Were You. And one more important thing I would like to add here, that this play is full of melodramatic situations. This play is full of wit and humor. Gerard is a learned person, very cultured person, and let's start. But before we start, I would like to introduce you characters. This is Gerard. This role had been played. This Gerard's role had been played by my colleague teacher, Mr. Jagdish Rajji from MS Ralthal Education Zone Inderwal, and I am highly thankful to you, my colleague teacher, to help me to play this role of, to help me to complete this this play, If I Were You. And the role of intruder had been played by myself, and the cameraman, the very important role. Without him, this was not complete. This was not possible to complete this play. This cameraman is our Vivek ji. It is also important to introduce. Let's discuss the scene. This is a small cottage interior, and there is an entrance back right, which may be curtain, some like curtain, and another door to the left must be a practical door. It should be practical door, and the furniture is simple, consisting of small table that towards the left, and there is a chair. There is one divan. Divan is a Hindi word for single bed, and there is a table. There is telephone on the table, and when the curtain rises, that Gerard is there on the stage. He's standing and he's taking a phone call. So this is the setting of the first scene. So let's watch it.
Tell him to phone up directly. I must know. Yes, I expect it. Oh, still be here, but you must not count on that. In about 10 minutes time. Right. Why, this is a surprise, mister.
I'm glad you are pleased to see me. I don't think you will be pleased for long. Put those paws up. Put those paws up.
This is all very melodramatic, but very original. Perhaps, but
Trying to be calm and
nonchalant is your word, I think.
What? You will soon stop being smart. I will make you crawl. I want to know some things from you. See?
Anything you like. I know all the answers. Before we begin, I should like to change my position.
Don't dear, no funny business. And
Question of inflection. Your voice is unfamiliar.
do you live here alone?
And if I don't answer,
You have got enough sense not to want to get hurt.
I think good sense is shown more in the ability to avoid pain than in the mere desire to do so. What do you think, Mr.
Mind my name. I like yours better, Mr. Gerard. What are your Christian names?
Vincent Charles?
Do you run a car?
No.
That's a lie. You are not dealing with a fool. I'm as smart as you and smarter than you. And I know you run a car. Better be careful, wise guy.
Are you American? Or is that merely a clever imitation?
This gun's not die. I can hurt you without killing you and still get my answers, right?
Of course. If you put it like that, I will be glad to assist you. I do possess a car. And it's in the garage round the corner.
That's better. Do people often come out here?
Very rarely, surprisingly few people take the trouble to visit me. There is a baker and the greengrocer, of course. And there's a milkman, quite charming. But no one is so interested as yourself.
I happen to know that you never see tradespeople.
You seems to have taken a considerable amount of trouble since you know so much about me. Wouldn't you say something about yourself? You have been so modest.
I could tell you plenty. You think you are so smart, but I am the top of the class round. Here, I have got brains. I use them. That's how I got here where I have.
And where precisely have you got? It did not require a great brain to break into my little cottage.
When you know why I have broken into your little cottage, you will be surprised. And it will not be a pleasant surprise for you.
With you figuring so largely in it, that's understandable. By the way, what particular line of crime do you embrace? Or aren't you a specialist?
My specialty is jewels robbery. Your car will do me a treat. It's certainly a dandy bus.
I'm afraid jewels are few and far between in the wild of Essex.
So are the cops. I can retire here nicely for a little while.
You mean to lie with me? A trifle sudden, isn't it? You have not been invited.
You will not be here long, so I did not trouble to ask.
What do you mean?
Ha ha ha, this is your big surprise. I'm going to kill you.
A little harsh, isn't it?
Yeah, I will be sorry to do it. I have taken a fancy to you, but it's just got to be done. I have to kill you.
Why add murder to your other crimes? It's a grave step you are taking.
Taking it for fun? I have been hunted long enough. I'm wanted for murder already, and they cannot hang me twice.
You are planning a gratuitous double, so to speak. Admitted you have nothing to lose, but what have you to gain?
Not freedom to gain. As for myself, I'm a poor hunted rat.
In most melodramas, the villain is foolish enough to delay his killings long enough to be frustrated. You are much luckier.
Okay, I have got a reason for everything. I'm going to be Vincent Charles Gerard.
You are not particularly decorated.
No, well, that goes for you too. I have only got to wear your specs. I will be enough like you to get away with it.
What about your clothes?
That will be alright. Yours will fit me fine.
That's extremely interesting. But you seem to miss the point of my remark. I said you were luckier than most melodramatic villain. It was not a tribute to your intelligence. You would not kill me for a very good reason.
So that's what you think.
You will let me go. And thanks God you did not shoot sooner.
What's on your mind? Better be quick. This conversation bores me.
Your idea is to elude the police by killing me and taking on my identity.
Yes, I like the idea.
But are you sure it's going to help you?
Listen here. I have got all this plan.
And this is where dodging has brought you.
It brought me to Aylesbury. That's where I saw you in the car.
A mystery which I propose to explain.
Your phone, your orders, you go away suddenly and come back just the same. This is all.
Apparently, you haven't the intelligence to ask why I am invested in this clock of mystery.
Said before, this conversation bores me.
Don't be a fool. If you shoot, you will hang for sure. If not as yourself, then as Vincent Charles Girard.
What is this?
This is your big surprise. I said you would not kill me, and I was right.
It's big, all right. It's gun, all right. And what's all this?
That's disguise outfits, false mustaches, and whatnot. Now, do you believe me?
I don't know.
For God's sake, clear that muddled head of yours and let's go. Come with me in the car. I can use you. If you find it's a frame, you have got me in the car and you have still got your gun.
Maybe you are right.
Then don't waste time. Let's go.
Careful, boss. I'm watching you. Don't be smart.
I have got a man posted on the main road. He will ring up if he sees the police. But don't want to leave. Come on, they are after us. Throw here straight to the garage.
How do I know that you are telling me truth?
Oh, don't be a fool. Look for yourself.
Out of here. Oh, let me out of here. Oh, let me out of here. Let me out.
Yes, speaking. Sorry, I can't let you have the props in time for rehearsal. I have had a spot of bother. Quite amusing. I think I will put in my next play. Yeah, listen. Can you tell our friend, the sergeant, to come up here at once? Yes. You will probably find him in the public bar.
And I hope you might have enjoyed this whole drama which was presented to you by us, and let's discuss some important points so that you will never forget this play if I were you. At the beginning, what happens that Girard is in the room. He is taking phone call and he is calling someone, and he's a gentleman. He's a learned person. He's an educated person. He's a well-cultured person. He looks very well-cultured, medium height, hair specs, and wearing specs. And then he's making call to someone, and he is saying that that the person should call him up directly. He adds that he would reach in 10 minutes and say goodbye, bids goodbye to the person, someone on the telephone. And when he is packing something on divan, and then he goes to the divan and started to pack something, and he has stuff in traveling bag. And at the same time there is entry of one person who has gun in his hand, and who is wearing hat and overcoat and that soft hat. He bumps into the table, and Gerard turns around at the sound, and he found that the person is not good for him, that his appearance is something like a criminal. But the reaction of the Gerard is very important. Gerard never become fearful, never lose his temper. He was very calm in all his discussion with intruder. He never lose his temper, he never lose his confidence, he never become angry or never become fearful during his talks with the intruder or with the criminal. Intruder tries everything to make that Gerard fearful, so that he will become afraid from intruder, so that his purpose may be accomplished, resolved. So he tries to make him that shut up, don't that he is making emphasis on his are you alone here. He is asking some questions from Gerard, although he had make all the so many homework on Gerard. He knew that he is alone there, he is living alone there. After that, he is asking him some question. What is first question was that do you live here alone? And when he asked this question to Gerard replies that if I will not answer. So Gerard here again proves that he is not afraid of he tries to be very calm. So he's telling him that if I will not answer, what will you do? So he's again threatening him that I will make you harm, can hurt you without killing. So he is trying all measures to make him afraid, that so that Gerard will reply all his queries of intruder. So intruder, what is the mission of the intruder? Purpose of the intruder was completely to take the identity of Gerard. So because in this whole drama we watch, we come to know that this criminal, this intruder was a criminal, and he has done murder. His police is after him, police is searching him, and he had to make a plan to take the identity of Gerard, to become a Gerard for after killing that Gerard. And so that is why he is inquiring him whom you meet. So Gerard replies him that I met some milkman and some grocery. Notices that he has a stark resemblance to Gerard and is holding a revolver in his hand. So thus he learns that he's a criminal who directs him to put his hands up, paws up. However, Gerard is surprisingly cool even at a gunpoint, and chat with him pleasantly with him. So he is very calm. He is very that cultured person already that we come to know. After hearing the conversation, we learn that Gerard is a man who lives alone and owns a car. When this question was asked by the intruder, do you own a car? He said no, and then he said, don't try to make me fool, because I know you have a car and you run a bus, you can drive a bus. So he comes to know that he also have a car. Moreover, he only talks to the phone and without really meeting his tradesman. This is what intruder comes to know about the Gerard and his tradesman. After learning all this, we come to know about the intruder. He is intruder 2, that he is a criminal who is mainly a jewelry robber, but after killing a policeman, he is fleeing from the fleeing from the police, and due to this resemblance to Gerard, he plans to kill him and assume his identity to get rid of the police. Gerard cautions the intruder. The intruder was about to shoot Gerard. Intruder was about to shoot the Gerard, but then Gerard warned him to be careful and not to kill him. He told the intruder that he was also a criminal and a murderer. In case he killed Gerard, he was sure to be hanged. They would hang him, if not as himself, then as Gerard. So this is how Gerard tries to divert his mind, the mind of intruder. And then what is the reaction of the intruder? Hearing this, the intruder began to think this was an opportunity for Gerard. He asked him to hurry and run with him in his car to a safer place. So the police were likely to come there soon. He opened the door, so which was in fact the door of a cupboard. The intruder looked to see into it, but then Gerard pushes from his back, and he was in that cupboard. Then he knocks that let me out from here, but he was caught there by the intelligent approach of by the Gerard. Gerard makes out that the intruder is not so smart, but only confident. Thus he plans something witty and lies to the intruder. He makes up a story in his mind within minutes. This was story created by him. After observing the mind of that intruder, he created a story, beautiful story, and that makes up a story. And Gerard is also a criminal, and that Gerard is also a criminal and murderer himself, much similar to the intruder. The police are also after him, and if he ends up killing Gerard, the intruder will be killed either way. So the intruder believes on his story of Gerard. So Gerard convinces him to go in the garage, and he open the door. When he try to open the door, Gerard pushes him from the back and was stuffed in that cupboard. So the police then he calls up someone, his friend, because when at the beginning there was call to Gerard, which he was referring to someone that within 10 minutes. So after 10 minutes there was a call from someone, and he picks up the call, and then at that call he takes the benefit of that call and pushes that intruder into the cupboard. So the key points of this session are that, first of all, that the intruder enters into the house of Gerard. Gerard is staying in the cottage. Gerard seems to have met with very few people. Gerard by profession is a playwright, and he is an artist, and he is very cultured person. He is very intelligent person. He is calm by nature. He is witty. He humorous person, and very cool person. He never lose his temper, never lose his calm. He remain calm in all this play. And on the other side, intruder is criminal. He is jewel thief. he had done murder of a policeman. He is fleeing from the police. He wants to take the identity of Gerard after killing him. He wants to have detailed information of Gerard. So he has not good intentions for Gerard, but Gerard on the other hand make a story because he is intelligent, because he is very that learned person. He makes the story from that first phone call which he receives, that yes, after 10 minutes something will happen, after 10 minutes, whether he is taking call, whether he is going somewhere or not. But then taking the benefit, make that story in such a way that at the end he is making him to believe, intruder, that he is also searched by the police. He is also wanted by the police, because within 10 minutes his men are on the road, and the man, if police will come, man will call him, and after 10 minutes phone bell rang, and then that intruder believes that yes, it is call for the police. So his mind get diverted by the story created by this writer within these minutes. If this situation, a common man, if face such a situation, he will hesitate, he will become frustrated, and he may take some drastic steps there. But on the other side, Gerard was very calm, very cool, and he makes a beautiful story, mysterious story, where intruder have to believe on his story. There are some words which had been used in this play, which may be new word for some of our learners. So let's discuss. First is cultured, means sophisticated, well-mannered person. Nonchalant means which is unnoticed, a person which is not being noticed, a person who is not being noticed by someone else, that is nonchalant. Count on, depend on. Then there is engaged, occupied, busy. Then it's melodramatic, that exaggerated, or we can say that all when some new situations are being created in plays, in dramas, in serials. To be smart, this is American English, a person who pretends to know a lot. It is said to be smart. Inflection, here a tone of voice, it means a tone of voice. Then it's wise guy. This is also American English which has been used, an informal way of saying that one is being too clever. And then a dandy bus, an informal good bus, that means expression for a fashionable, we can say dandy bus means very fashionable. So these are some words. Let's discuss others. Tradespeople means some merchants, and then gratuitous, unnecessary and usually harmful. Then that's dodgy, means avoid. Then it's lucky break, an unexpected opportunity for success. Sunday school teacher, a Christian, a religious teacher who teaches Sundays in church. Frame means trap. So these are some new words, maybe some new words for our learners, some of our learners. So these are some words which are in this play. So hope you might have understood these words also. This is how our story ended here. In next session, we will discuss some of its that language work, some other exercise. So thank you very much for watching today. Thank you very much.